Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm in the mood for a sweet treat, so I'm going to be making some Irish cream chocolate chip cookies. So let's begin. Okay, so first I'm gonna measure my dry ingredients just so it's all ready to go. So I need 3 cups of flour, 3, okay. I need 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Awesome, just like that. And then we're gonna just mix that together. Just like so. And there is our dry ingredients. Now it is time to get going on the wet. So first off, I need a cup of butter. So I'm gonna be using 2 sticks. It needs to be softened nicely. Go. Okay, and with our cup of butter, we need a cup of brown sugar. For brown sugar, you want to make sure you're packing it in. Okay, so we got a cup of brown sugar, and then you need 1/2 cup of just plain white sugar. And then we're gonna get that creaming together. So, okay, and we're gonna mix this until it is light and fluffy. So a few minutes. Okay, I also just started my oven to 350, and you're gonna wanna make sure when you're doing this, you're scraping down the sides. All that butter and sugar get really creamed together. Okay, this is looking amazing, so I'm going to scrape down the sides again. Okay, just like so. And then we're going to add in the eggs. I'm just gonna add in 1 at a time. So we're gonna plop 1 of them in there and then get that mixing. Okay, and then once that gets combined, add the other. And do the same. Okay, awesome. Now it is time to add the Irish cream. So this needs 1/4 cup of Irish cream. So I'm gonna get down. Awesome. And we're gonna add that in here. Just like so. Yum. As well as a teaspoon of vanilla. Perfect. Now we're gonna mix that all together till it's combined. Make sure to scrape down the sides so everything is getting really well combined before we start adding our flour. So once we start adding our flour, we can't mix it very much. Okay, this is looking fantastic. So now it is time to slowly start adding the flour, but we don't want to mix this too much. So as soon as it all comes together, we want to cut off the machine. Okay, it has all come together. So now we're going to take it off and we are going to scrape off our paddle. All that goodness. This is looking fantastic. It's a beautiful light caramel color. Okay, so got all that in there. Now we're gonna just scrape down the sides. Okay, and then for these cookies, I'm gonna be using some dark chocolate chunks, but if you like semi-sweet or milk chocolate better, add that. I feel like this is already gonna be a sweet cookie, so adding a little bit of dark chocolate would be nice. And I'm just gonna add in the whole bag. Still 1 more in there, got it. And we're gonna stir this together, and then I'm gonna put 1/2 of this and bake just the chocolate chunks, and then for the other 1/2, I'm gonna add a little bit of some chopped up pecans as well. So first we need to just start with the chocolate chips. So I'm gonna fold all this in there. Let me make sure every cookie has some chocolate chunks. Okay, awesome. Okay, and then I have my handy cookie scooper so that they'll all be a uniform size. And we're just going to scoop them out on our piece of parchment paper so that they come off nicely. I don't know how much these are gonna spread, so I'm just gonna do 6 on this first batch so I can make sure. And then if they don't spread out too much, I'll do more. Okay, awesome. This is definitely a softer dough than I normally have, but I think that's because the Bailey's added more liquid to it, but they should still turn out delicious. So I'm very excited to see how this turns out. And perfect timing, the oven is done, so I can pop these in here. They need about 10 to 12 minutes. You don't want to overcook them, so make sure to keep an eye on them. And I got my timer on for 10 minutes, so I will see you when all these are ready to try out. Okay, these are looking fantastic. I'm in the middle of still baking some of them off, but it is turning out so good. I added the pecans about halfway through, so those are baking too. So let's give these a try. I also have a little iced coffee with some Bailey's as creamer. So that's a nice little side treat. So let's open this up. Oh, it's still nice and warm and gooey on the center. So it's just the way I like them. They're always best right when they come out of the oven. Still delicious afterwards, but best right after the oven. So let's give these a try. This is my favorite texture in a cookie when it's nice and crispy on the outside, and then in the center it's nice and gooey and soft. I don't like super crispy cookies all the way through, so these are fantastic. I am so happy with how these turned out. They taste mostly like a chocolate chip cookie, but it does have like a slight Bailey's flavor at the end, so that adds for a nice little flavor enhancer on this. So I am very happy with how these turned out. I will definitely be making these again. So good. And like I said again, this is my favorite texture in a cookie, so I'm very happy with how these turned out. If you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.